Look at those walls. Look at them well, for today they fall. Troy did not fear the sea. She did not fear the storm. But she has never faced us. I was born for this shore. Every scar on my body, every night I trained in blood and dust was for this morning. They will say we were outnumbered. Let them. They will say the gods abandoned us. Let them say that too! But when the historians write of this day, and believe me, they will write our names! Today we carve our names into eternity! Forward to our immortality!
Calm yourself, young Master Achilles. This is training, not battle. That comes later.
Will the gods help me during my battles, Master Chiron?
The gods really do favor you, young master. They watch you from Mount Olympus.
Since we left the fighting, the enemy has begun winning. More and more Greeks are dying every day. And for what? Because the great Achilles will not follow Agamemnon.
Lions do not follow swines, Patreus. We are not here to follow Agamemnon. We are here to follow our hearts.
My heart tells me to fight.
Not without my order, my friend. To war! Everybody, get ready!
Hector killed Patroclus. Everyone thought he was you. Hector!
I do not fear death. Let this day be judged by honor. Then witness the truth, Hector. The lion still lives, and glory walks at my side.
In the world of ancient heroes, few names loom larger than Achilles, the legendary warrior of the Trojan War. Famed for his unmatched skill in battle and remembered as one of the greatest figures in Greek mythology. But was Achilles a real person, or is he a character who grew more extraordinary with every retelling? Greek myth tells us that Achilles was the son of Peleus, a mortal king, and Thetis, a sea nymph. From birth, he stood between two worlds, human and divine. As he grew, he became the greatest warrior among the Greeks, the central figure of Homer's Iliad, where his anger and ambition helped shape the course of the Trojan War. Most people know the story of Achilles' famous weakness. According to later legends, his mother dipped him into the river Styx as an infant, making him invulnerable everywhere except the heel by which she held him. Yet this detail is absent from Homer's Iliad. In the earliest version of the story, there is no magical invincibility and no mention of an Achilles heel. That idea emerged centuries later. If such a defining part of the myth was added long after the original tale, it raises an important question. Was there ever a real Achilles behind the legend? To explore that possibility, we first need to examine the conflict that made him famous, the Trojan War itself. For centuries, many scholars regarded Troy as nothing more than a mythical city. That changed when archaeologists excavating Hisarlik in modern-day Turkey uncovered the remains of multiple ancient settlements. One layer, known as Troy 7a, appears to have been destroyed during a violent conflict around the 12th century BCE. Additional clues come from Hittite records, which refer to a place called Wilusa. Many historians believe this name may be linked to Ilios, another name for Troy. While these discoveries do not prove Homer's account, they suggest that a real conflict may have inspired the stories that followed. The challenge is the gap between history and literature. Roughly 4 centuries separate the likely date of the Trojan War from the time Homer's epics were composed. During those centuries, stories were passed down orally, reshaped by countless poets, performers, and audiences. By the time Achilles appears in the Iliad, he is already more than a historical figure. He has become a literary hero, refined and transformed through generations of storytelling. So what evidence do we have for Achilles himself? The answer is simple: none that can confirm his existence. No contemporary records mention him. No inscription bears his name. No Bronze Age tomb has ever been identified with certainty as the resting place of the warrior who slew Hector. Even the location of his supposed grave remains uncertain. Ancient travelers and later visitors pointed to different burial mounds near Troy, each claiming to be the hero's final resting place. Over time, various communities adopted different sites, turning them into places of ritual, memory, and political symbolism. In that sense, even Achilles' tomb became part of the myth. Most historians today view Achilles not as a documented individual, but as a composite figure, a heroic ideal shaped from memories of real warriors and centuries of cultural imagination. His armor, weapons, and battlefield tactics reflect elements of late Bronze Age warfare, yet they also contain details from later periods. The result is a character who combines historical echoes with poetic invention, part soldier, part symbol. And despite the uncertainty surrounding his existence, Achilles has had an undeniable impact on history. For the ancient Greeks, the Trojan War was a defining event, and Achilles represented both the glory and the danger of heroic ambition. Leaders, generals, and writers looked to him as a model. Alexander the Great famously visited what was believed to be Achilles' tomb, paying tribute to the warrior he admired. Across centuries, Achilles became a way of exploring timeless human questions. The pursuit of glory, the burden of pride, the certainty of death, and the price of immortality through fame. His influence survives even in everyday language. When we speak of an Achilles heel, we are referring to a hidden vulnerability, an expression that remains instantly recognizable thousands of years after the myth was first told. So, did Achilles really exist? The most honest answer is that we do not know, and there is no evidence that can prove he was a single, identifiable individual. What we can say is that real wars were fought, real cities were destroyed, and real warriors sought honor and remembrance in the late Bronze Age world. Achilles may not be a direct historical figure, but he is likely rooted in the experiences and memories of people who once lived. He is not a photograph of the past. He is an echo of it, standing between history and legend, between the Troy that archaeologists uncover and the Troy that poets imagined. Achilles remains one of humanity's most enduring myths, a reminder that stories can preserve truths even when the facts themselves have faded from memory.